We know we hit the live button.
We're live right now.
All right. All right. Shalom Israel. Welcome back to Wednesday night class. It's our pleasure to edify the body and to teach the nation of Israel and the lost sheep of the house of Israel to continue to stay strong and strive for perfection in the word of the Most High. We want to, give a shout out to our brothers in New York, Rochester, Zion. We got Kazakia in Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia. We got Quatazap in Houston. We have Kawakab in Guatemala. We have Amiatazat in London. And all of our brothers, our fellow Hebrew Israelite brothers and friends and family out in California, Florida, New Mexico, Georgia, all over the U.S. and also abroad in the islands as well. And so we want to say shout out and shalom to you as well. The water for everybody that came also in class in person for taking their time out, whether you have children or not, or jobs or not, or work or not, the water for coming out and making it in person as well. And getting this word. So let's go ahead and get started since it's a little late. Matthew chapter 6, start at verse 21.
Come, Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.
So the Most High is saying that if something is isolated and important to you, what will follow behind that important figure? Your what?
Your mind.
Your mind. So we're talking about where your mind lies, where your mind stays, where your mind is occupied. And what the Most High is saying is, the thing that is important to you, it will captivate and it will consume what? Your mind. Your heart. Heart is another word for mind. So he said, so we already talked with, Christ is already talking about focus. Yep. He's already beginning this topic, or we're beginning our topic with a verse that Christ is already teaching the disciples about where what's important to them is what's going to consume and dominate their mind. All right, so read on.
The light of the body is the eye.
And he says, the beginning of the want or the things that you desire comes from what?
What you see.
What you see. What you see is the beginning of having an attachment or a longing for, or an affinity for, or an affection for something. It's based upon what you allow to go into your eyes. This old saying that the eyes are the windows of what?
Soul.
The windows to the soul. So there's an access to your mind straight from the eyes, from the focal point. You have access straight to somebody's mind from the eyes. People say, man, it was love at first what?
Sight.
It was love at first sight. As soon as I laid my eyes on this person, man, it was just no turning back. As soon as I saw this person, I knew this was the one. As soon as I saw him. Is that true? Maybe, maybe not. But we do know there's something that began there at first sight. If they say that, it was something that they saw that said, okay, this is the one, or started an attraction. All right. So we know that the beginning of all these things that take away your focus and concentration is what you see, right? And what you see can become so important that it dominates your mind. Read on.
If therefore thine eye be single.
He said, but if your eye be single, single means whole, but also it means single means one and one only. So that means that you're focused on something. So if your eye is focused on something, read on.
Thy whole body shall be full of light.
You'll reap the benefits of concentration and focus. And so we know that the Most High said, let my law be the apple of what? Thine eyes. So what should be the thing that's focused that you care about the most?
Law.
The Most High's law. He said that should be the apple of your eye. That should be the thing that consumes and dominates your focus, that takes your attention. We also know in Deuteronomy chapter 6, he said the law is supposed to be upon thy hands for a sign. You're supposed to have the law binding upon thy signs, and he says like frontlets to what?
Your eyelids.
To your eyes. He said like frontlets to your eyes. Frontlets to your eyes are things that keep you focused going forward. These are like blinders that you put on a horse to keep them from going side to side. He said this is how the law should be in your mind. It should keep you on a path. Read on.
Verse 23. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness.
Now, if you let something steal away your concentration or your focus, and you let something detach you from focusing on what's important, he says it'll start to rot away at you and consume you, and your whole body shall be what?
Darkness.
Full of darkness, right? So we know that as a man thinketh in his heart, So is he. So if you meditate on something long enough, you will contaminate your thought process. You'll contaminate your noodles. You'll contaminate your mind frame. If you think on something negative enough, and if you're so consumed with what doesn't work, what can't work, what's not possible, what's not good, if you're too consumed with that mentality, it's only a matter of time before you're contaminated as a person completely. Because he's showing you a little leaven does what?
Leaven the whole lump.
It only takes a little bit of influence, negative influence, to contaminate somebody's pot, somebody's thinking pot. There's that mind. It only takes a little bit of negative to consume the whole thought process. It doesn't take much. And this is why Christ is warning the disciples at the same time that you have to be careful on what you entertain and what you allow to steal away your focus and concentration. Read.
If therefore the light that is in thee be darkness, how great is that darkness?
That's why he says, he's asking you a question. How much negative do you allow in your mind? How much do you meditate on? Are you like a 90-10? Like you're 90% optimistic and 10% pessimistic? Or are you like a 90-10 the other way? Where 90% of everything you see is negative. You always have the connotation and the mind state that this sucks, this doesn't work, I don't even know what I'm doing, I don't know why I'm doing this, I don't see the good in what I'm doing, I don't see any progress, I don't see any growth. Do you constantly meditate on those words? Do you listen to yourself say these things? Do you tell yourself these things? Are you monitoring the quantity of negative that you allow to circulate within your mind? Remember, thoughts move faster than the speed of light. Thoughts, this is how Elon Musk is able to take a computer chip and insert it in somebody's brain and operate a computer mouse with it. Because those synapses, those neurotransmitters, they move with electricity, with pulses of electricity. So people come up with thoughts like lightning happens. Quick, just that quick, you come up with a thought. That's how fast thoughts move in the mind. That's how quick the mind can operate on something and think on something. But if your mind is thinking all the time negative and circulating with negative, you got negative, what they call when something is moving within your body.
Yep.
When something is moving within your mind, they call it globalizing. This is when something is moving from one aspect of your body to the other, whether it's in the muscle, whether it's in the bone, whether it's in the nerve, or whether it's in the brain. They call it globalizing. When something is moving and transporting itself within the brain or within the mind. They say pain often globalizes. But also, negative thoughts globalize too. That means they circulate. They go around in the mind frame. And we know that the heart is wicked. Desperately wicked. So we know that the mind is fragile. It can easily become damaged to negative thinking. That's why Christ said, he's asking that question, how much do you allow yourself to be consumed with negative thoughts? Or is something taking away your focus from you? How much are you allowing it to take from you? They say, because it only takes a little bit. Read.
Verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
And he says, obviously, there's always going to be a what?
Contrary?
Yep. There's always be a choice for what?
To serve.
So as for what? There's always going to be a struggle. You're always going to have to struggle to maintain a positive mind. Now I know we have classes on positive thinking. We have classes on being optimistic, being pessimistic. We have classes on a person that's defiled with evil thoughts. I mean, we touch these topics quite a bit. We touch them quite often. But the rewards come far and few in between when the mind is consumed with negative. You don't receive and reap the benefits of the rewards so frequently when your mind is contaminated with negative. The Most High said the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee what?
Deceit.
And will not abide when what? When unrighteousness cometh in. So when the mind starts to become contaminated, The Most High is out of there. He's out of your mind. The Most High doesn't dwell in the same place as a negative mind. His spirit won't dwell in the same occupied space as a negative mind. Can we read that real quick? Because it seemed like we may have forgotten this point. Can we go to Ecclesiastes and just read that point that I just quoted right there? And Ecclesiastes chapter 1.
You know, was it Solomon 1?
Is it Wisdom of Solomon?
Yeah, it was Solomon 1 and 3.
1 and
3
I just want straight to the point.
It's 5. It's 3 through 5.
No, start at 1.
Okay.
1 through 4, really.
Okay, go.
Read that real quick.
Come. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, and verse 1 reads, love righteousness.
It said love what?
Righteousness.
That's why he said love what's right. What's right is righteousness is what's right to the Most High. That's what righteousness is. Read.
Ye that be judges of the earth.
Because a judge is somebody that passes judgment. We make judgment all day long. We make decisions all day long. We pass judgment. We see things a certain way all day long. Read on.
Think of the Most High with a good heart.
And that's why it said think of the Most High with what?
A good heart.
That's why you gotta keep your mind positive. You gotta look at what you do for the Lord in a positive manner. And he's gonna tell you what happens really quickly when you start to grow negative. When that mentality starts to grow negative, something happens. He's gonna tell you the effects of a negative mind. Read on.
Come. Think of the Lord with a good heart.
Go ahead.
And simplicity of heart seek him.
And in simplicity of heart. You know, a lot of times what we do is we say, well, Lord, you know, we give the Most High ultimatums. Well, if you don't change my situation by tomorrow, I'm not believing in you. You know what? Thinking of the Most High with simplicity is, you know what? Let me give it time. Things don't change overnight. Babies don't grow overnight. Babies take months and years to even speak.
It's gonna be on his pace.
It's gonna be at his pace. So let me operate with that mentality that good things will come. Go ahead.
Come. And in simplicity of heart seek him, for he will be found of them that tempt him not, and showeth himself unto such as do not distrust him.
It says, and the ones that don't distrust the Most High, he said, showeth himself not to them that distrust him. Read.
For forward thoughts separate from the Most High.
Go ahead.
And his power, when it is tried, reproveth the unwise.
Read.
For into a malicious soul wisdom shall not enter.
So if that mentality or that mind frame has become malicious or contaminated, wisdom won't inherit the same space. Wisdom is out of there. Once the Most High see that your mind is contaminated, the spirit of wisdom is out. It will not operate within that person. Wisdom won't inhabit the same space. Read.
Nor dwell in the body that is subject unto sin.
Why? Read on.
For the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee deceit.
Go ahead.
And remove from thoughts that are without understanding, and will not abide when unrighteousness cometh in.
So will the Holy Spirit abide when unrighteousness come in? This is why Christ is asking that question. If there's any darkness in your mind, he said, how great is that darkness? Because you run the risk of kicking the Most High's wisdom and his spirit out of your mind when you start to adopt too much of a negative thought process. Is that easy to understand?
Yeah.
All right. We got a question right here.
No, there's a question.
Oh, it's just a statement that that was taped on class from the other day. We put the Most High on time constraints. What kind? Yes, we do. That's we did discuss that. I don't remember exactly what class that was, but yes, we do put the Most High on time constraints. Oh, you did that?
I referenced what you said. I said it's statement what was in the same vein, so I just threw it as if you were here. I said,
okay.
Hey, this is something I want to say because this is the thing we do. But you always pointed out we put the Most High on some kind of 4 months.
Yeah.
After that, I'm not here anymore.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense.
So we understand how the Most High, when it comes to negativity, the Most High won't abide in that same space. So you gotta make sure that you focus on positive things as often as possible. You gotta meditate on good things as often as possible. pure things as often as possible. So you got to make sure that the Most High stays with you. Now, I know it's not part of the class, but because we're on this topic, what happens when your mind is concentrated on the Most High? What happens when your mind is focused on the Most High and you're meditating on positive things? Let's use somebody for an example. Let's go to Acts. And I want you to get Acts. Like I said, it's not part of the class, but it still is. Give me Acts chapter 10. And start verse 1.
Acts chapter 10, verse 1.
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
Go ahead.
A devout man, and one that feared the Most High with all his house, which gave much alms to the people, and prayed to the Most High
It said
always.
he gave what?
Much alms to the people, and prayed to the Most High always.
Go ahead.
Verse 3. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of the Most High, coming in to him.
So now, what was Cornelius doing already prior to this angel coming down to pay him a visit in the 9th hour?
Devoting himself to the Most High.
Say again? He was devoted to service. What else? Well, what was he doing in particular? Let's read that point. It's two things it says he was doing in particular.
Acts chapter 10, verse 2. It says, a devout man, and one that feared the Most High with all his house,
Go ahead.
which gave much alms.
So he feared the Most High, but it wasn't just in word. He feared the Most High in deed, in actions. So what was he doing to show that he feared the Most High? He was doing what?
Gave much alms to the people.
He said this man was constantly giving alms to who?
The people.
This is what he was doing before the angel came to him. He was giving alms to the people. What else?
It says, and prayed to the Most High.
So it says he was giving alms and he was already praying to the Most High on a regular basis. These two things, he said, and he had everybody in his house doing the actions that he was doing. These two things allowed the Most High to send him an angel and give him a message. So when I got a negative mind, the spirit of wisdom will leave and depart. But when I got a positive mind full of positive actions, the Most High recognizes that and he sends somebody to confirm that I've been paying attention to where your mind has been. I've been following you and where your thoughts are at. So what did the angel say?
Verse 3. It says, and he saw in a vision evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of the Most High coming in to him, and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked at him, he was afraid. And he said, what is it, Lord? And he answered, and he said unto him, thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before the Most High.
He said, the Most High has been paying attention to where your concentration has been. The Most High has been paying attention to what you've been focused on and what you've been doing. The Most High has been an eyewitness to your performance. So your focus and your concentration, your alms, your dedication to the body is not in vain. So versus the Most High fleeing you from a negative mind, the Most High sent a spirit to confirm that you're on a good path. But what else was he doing? He said what?
It says, and he said unto him, thy prayers and thine alms are come up for a memorial before the Most High.
Meaning what? The Most High is witnessing, is recognizing your focus. He's validating the fact that you've been on the right path. You're thinking about the right things. That's confirmation right there. Do we give alms and pray until the right spirit show up? Or do we think about negative things until the wrong spirits show up?
That's more like
Yeah.
that. Something shows up.
Something shows up. Something's going to show up. You got a good angel going to show up. You got a bad angel
Got
going to
them
show
demons. Them
up.
demon
Demon going
thoughts
to show
out.
up.
I recognize your thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. But this you got to see where the Most High is confirming the fact that this man has been focused.
Yep.
And the Most High appreciates that and said, listen, your alms and your prayers have reached the Most High and is a memorial to the Most High. I mean, the Most High has made mention of this. This is an everlasting thing that you have put before the Lord where he recognizes the good works. But out of Cornelius' own mouth, jump down to verse 30.
Acts chapter 9, Acts chapter 10, verse 30.
Read that.
And Cornelius said, 4 days ago.
Now he's regurgitating the situation to Peter. He was telling Peter 4 days ago. Go ahead.
I was fasting.
No, he said he was what?
Fasting.
So was he only giving alms?
Oh, just fasting.
Was he only praying? What was he doing?
Fasting.
He said, so what do you call that when somebody is fasting, giving alms, and praying? They're trying to get the Most High's attention, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of concentration. That's a lot of focus when you're not even giving yourself to food. You're not even giving yourself to pleasure. You're taking away pleasure. You're taking away amenities out of your life for the purpose. You're removing situations and circumstances that you could be doing that are not necessarily unlawful, but you put yourself on a strict regimen where you isolate and focus your mind so much on the Most High that the Most High validates it and confirms it. So he said, I was doing what? I was fasting and what?
And praying.
It says, and Cornelius said, 4 days ago, I was fasting until this hour. And at the 9th hour, I prayed in my house.
So this man was giving alms. He was fasting already leading up to the angel paying him a visit. And he said, I was doing what? And I was praying. This is a message for anybody that has not seen any change, but whose mind constantly dwells on something negative. You'll never get the Most High's attention. Because the Spirit of the Most High will not dwell and abide in the same space of a negative mind. But if you clear that mind up and you focus on positive things, righteous things, good things, and you fast and pray, then the Most High can confirm, hey, it's not in vain. I'm watching you. He said what?
He said, and then I prayed in mine house. He says, and behold, a man stood before me in bright clothing.
This wasn't no regular man, was it? No. This wasn't no regular man. He said, this man appeared to me in what?
He said, and said, Cornelius, thy prayer is heard, and thine alms are had in remembrance in the sight of the Most High.
So who's watching you?
The Most High.
Whose attention did you just receive?
The Most High's attention.
How? How did Cornelius get the Most High's attention?
Prayer, fasting, alms.
He was concentrating, bro. He was concentrating on getting them. He was concentrating his mind, bro. He was putting his mind in a space where he was denying himself. And he was constantly thinking about the Most High. He was focused. That's how Cornelius got that angel to come down and say, hey, the Most High is recognizing what you're doing. Or, you got to realize, that's what Christ said, if you let darkness in, how great is that darkness? Matthew 6:24. Let's go back to that. Yeah, let that go.
Matthew chapter 6, verse 24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold to the one and despise the other.
So either you're concentrating on the Most High or what? Or you're concentrating on yourself. Either you're trying to get the Most High's attention or you're trying to get man's attention. But you can't serve both. You can't please both. This is why for what Cornelius was doing, the Most High confirmed that, hey man, I appreciate your focus and your concentration. You're being recognized now. What is it? Now I got a message for you. Now I have a purpose for you. Now I got an intention for you. Now I'm about to distribute you to a man named Peter, who's going to tell you what to do from this point forward. Now I'm going to send you an instructor. This is what happens when you think positive. Positive things come. Good things come when you're thinking positive. But you can't serve two masters. Read on.
Come. You cannot serve God and mammon. For
What is mammon?
Money.
Money.
Desires. It's money or desire.
What runs and rules a lot of people's minds? Money, man.
Finances.
Money. What does money do? Money just a defense.
Yep.
It just help you get the things that you need on a carnal level. Money cannot purchase any spiritual things unless you've given it in the form of alms and charity. But other than that, it cannot obtain any spiritual well-being unless you're doing the right thing with it. But a lot of people's minds is, I need more money. They're not occupied in the mind frame of, I need to make sure that I focus on the Most High more. I give the Most High more concentration. That's not ruling the person's mind. Money rules our mind. Christ knows what we focus on and care about. That's why he says you cannot serve God and what?
Mammon.
And mammon. Money is a strong card that stands in opposition to the Most High.
Okay. You know,
That's like a club, like a not an ace of spades, but a club. What do you call that black club?
Yeah, spade.
But the ace though,
oh, the ace of spades.
Ace of
Yeah.
spades?
not the ace of spade, but the ace of club.
The spade is worth more.
Which one is it? Ace of spade.
Ace of spades is worth more.
It's worth more.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of them is gonna trump the other one.
Yeah.
But what we do is we look at money like, damn, what am I gonna do without this money? What am I gonna do? How am I gonna function? How am I gonna survive? Look how much weight this damn money holds. Look how much weight it carries. It rules 90% of our people's minds. What else?
you know,
Yep.
verse 25. Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life.
He said, take no what?
Take no thought for your life.
That's why he said, take no thought for what?
Your life.
Because the thing that's going to steal away your focus toward the Most High and what you do for the Lord is what's going on with you in your life.
Yeah.
What's happening in your life will steal your attention away from the focus of the Most High.
Okay.
It happens all the time. It's the ups and downs of my life. It's the things that I want that I don't have. It's the places that I want to go that I can't. It's the confines that I have. I don't have the liberty and the freedom that I want to have. I feel like I'm tied down. I'm stuck. I'm not moving.
Running in circles through my wheels.
Yep, running circles. I don't see any progress. Read on.
God says, what ye shall eat or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body what ye shall put on.
Go ahead.
It is not the life more than meat.
It says the fact that you have life is more important than what you're going to give to your life. What are you going to feed your life? What is your life going to possess? What you're going to inherit? What's more important is the fact that you're alive. The fact that you're alive should be enough for you to be content. That should be enough. That the Most High said He's the God of the living, right?
Yep.
So we should be thankful that the Most High got us still on earth. We'll explain.
With the same opportunity.
Same opportunity to please Him. We can explain in a little bit. Read on.
Con, is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment?
Go ahead.
Behold, the fowls of the air, for they sow not,
They don't work. Sow means to work. Plant. Read.
neither do they reap,
Read.
nor gather into barns. Yet your heavenly
That
Father,
barn is a place where you store things. That's for collection and storage. Save things for later. so you can have abundance to stretch and last you for a long period of time. A lot of times we want money to be able to stretch and last for a long period of time.
Go.
To make sure we have money in abundance so we can stretch it and make it work. Read on.
Yet your heavenly Father feedeth them.
He said, but they don't work. They don't store anything in barns or accounts. He says, but yet the Most High does what?
Feed them.
He says, but yet your heavenly Father does what?
Feedeth them.
He takes care of them. Read on.
Are ye not much better than they?
How much more are you worth than a bird, than a fowl? Read.
Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature?
So when Christ is talking about no man can serve two masters, you cannot serve God and money. He's looking at the things that people worry about. What you worry about, a lot of times, is really nonsense or is not that important
As we projected it.
as we
said it.
as we say it is or we think it is. The things that we worry about that consume our thought process is really not as valuable as we may put it up there to be.
So we inflate the value and focus on things that we care about, but they hold really no weight in the balance of life.
Man, they don't hold no weight. In the grand scheme of things, of what's really important, the fact that you're alive is important, is the most important. He said that you have life. Because if you have life, you have opportunity. But there's hope. But when you're consumed with carnal things, earthly things, sensual things, things that are not that important, these are just things that are distractions that are taking your mind away from serving the Most High and giving the Most High your all. These are just distractions. That's all they are. It's not that important. He said what?
Verse 28. And why take ye thought for raiment?
No, he said verse 27.
Verse 27. For says, which of you by taking thought can add 1 cubit to his stature?
So adding 1 cubit to your stature, meaning if you worry enough, can your worries make your body grow? Stature is height. If you think about growing so much, you're just going to worry yourself to growth. So if you tell yourself 75 times a day, I'm going to grow. 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 I'm going to grow 2 inches. I'm going to grow 5 inches. He said, by you thinking on it so much, will it really change your height?
No.
So what is he saying? He's showing you the value of worry. And how much of our mind is consumed on worries. He's showing you all the things that steal a mind, that take a mind, that take concentration. He said money takes concentration, steals away from you. Worrying, which is another form of what? Fear. It's fear. It's fear. It's doubt. It's doubt and fear. These are all these things steal away concentration. Meditating on negative thoughts. Thinking negative things. All it does is robs you of your concentration and focus. All these things are not important. As we, like Daviah said, as we want them to be, as we make them to be. So, how should we be? Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 26. Give me 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 26. Christ just showed us none of these things will help you.
You want this one?
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 26. I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress. I say that it is good for a man so to be.
He said, okay, read it again.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 26. I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress.
He said, for the present circumstance, Paul is about to give a list of ways to operate and to function mentally as you navigate your daily battles. As you go through your daily battles in life, he's saying, I'm going to give you a structure of how your mind should consist. of how should you function on a regular basis. Read it one more time.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 26. I suppose, therefore, that this is good for the present distress.
He said, this is good for the present distress. Regardless of what you're going through, he said, this is good. Let's find out. Read.
I say that it is good for a man so to be.
So when it says so to be, the word to be means to be in existence or to exist in. What he's telling you is, this is the best mind to exist in. To be means to exist.
This is period. This is the strongest mind, period.
That's the strongest. He's saying this is the best mind to be. What he's saying is, to be means to exist. To function in, to exist in, to operate in on a regular basis. He said this mentality, this structure of mentality that I'm about to give you is how you should function on a daily basis.
In general.
In general.
Because some people say like, the Bible's a big book. There's a lot of information in there. I don't know where to start. I've been hearing a lot of classes. I don't know really where to focus.
Yeah.
Let's tell you right here, this is how you should think.
He's telling you right now, he's about to give a whole list of ways that you should navigate in your mind amidst the struggles, despite the struggles, despite the current condition, despite what you're going through. This is the mentality that you should exist in. Right? Read.
Art thou bound unto a wife?
He said, are you connected to a woman? Are you married? Everybody know the answer to that. You should know. Unless you like the woman by the well and say, I ain't got no husband.
She got 5.
And Christ had to pull your card and say, no, you got 5 husbands. But you should know that status. He said, are you married? Then what?
Seek not to be loose.
He said, then what?
Seek not to be loose.
What does that mean?
Don't look for divorce.
If I'm married, why would somebody be thinking of an alternative?
Is they're unhappy in their current situation? Yeah.
Say again? They're discontent.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not happy. I'm not content. This is the beginning of the curiosity.
Yeah.
The looking over the fence to the other grass. Man, they got better grass. That grass is greener than my grass.
Yeah. Better water. Better
They
minerals.
got better water. What kind of water they drinking over there? So this is the beginning of when you start looking outside of your situation.
Outside of my circumstances.
Outside of my circumstances. Because this is what everybody does that's a fruitless pursuit. That does you no good. Is to start looking outside of where the Most High has you at. That's why it says, this is the mind that you should exist in. To be in existence, meaning that's to be. That means to exist. I'm existing in this mentality. This is where I function at. But the first thing people do is not want or value or appreciate where the Most High has them at. And they don't like their circumstance. They're discontent. They're not happy about their particular circumstance. And they start looking outside of their circumstance.
That really it multiplies, is a better term. It multiplies the already pre-existing discontent.
Yes.
Because looking outside my circumstance, this increases the insecurity or the anger or the sadness. It multiplies at least 3 times.
Yeah.
You see, you got 3 cows, and so you got 3 pails worth of milk, and you look outside your farm, somebody got 100 cows, you got 100 pails of milk. So I went all this time.
But you were cool with what you had.
The 3 pails of milk was enough. I wasn't starving. I had butter.
Yep. Cheese.
Yeah, I had cheese. I had butter. I had cheese. I had milk. I even had soap if I want to put in some soap.
I had yogurt.
I had yogurt. I had kefir if you want to have some kefir. You had a little in between.
Yeah.
You got probiotics for your stomach, for your belly feel good. But you look over there, you're like, man, this guy's doing big business.
He's
He got 100 cows.
He's doing better than me.
He got 100 cows over there, bro. He can have all kind of cheese, all kind of cheeses over there.
Yeah, he got Gouda cheese. He got cheddar.
Yeah.
He got all kind of cheese. He got Swiss. Yeah, he got pepper jack. He got the good cheese. I just got cheese. Yeah, that generic that just say
Crab
cheese.
cheese,
It ain't even crab. It just say cheese. It's that government cheese.
The government cheese,
That free block. That free brick of cheese.
Yeah.
Actually, I did some studying on that because I grew up on that government cheese. It was actually well made, believe it or not. They actually, maybe the government was more strict back then, but they had a stricter standard of operation when it came to preserving that cheese and the ingredients that they put in that cheese. They had a multitude of inspectors overseeing government cheese
Compared to now.
compared to now.
Got
Yeah.
just Joe Biden. They're like,
So-
this is ready.
So do your research. I thought government cheese was like a curse, but actually it wasn't. That's how you can still run fast and jump high. And all you had was that government cheese and powdered milk. But it was actually really well made cheese. Believe it or not, they had many. Things were better back then anyway.
Yeah.
But it was actually good cheese. That's why it took a long time to melt. It never really aged. You can eat that cheese for a long time. You can eat that cheese for like a month, 2 months. Eat half of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then just cut off the hard part. And you
That's true.
if it got hard, you just cut it off and turn it like a plastic. Just cut that hard part off and you going again. But anyway, like Dawiyah said, looking outside, that's the beginning of people's situation of when they start to unravel mentally. This is the beginning of them starting to entertain negative. Because I don't like my situation. This is what Paul is giving you the structure. He's giving you the mentality to stay within your lane.
Yeah.
Stay within your lane. Worry about your situation. Be prosperous in your situation. Don't entertain negative. Be happy with this situation. He says, art thou what?
Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loose.
He said, don't be trying to do what?
Get loose.
Get out of it. Because you know what? We get into it and then we are unhappy with it because we thought it was the best thing to do because we got to an age where we say, you know what? Well, everybody's getting married. I don't want to be the oddball. And, when I go to house parties, it's a lot of couples there. It's couples there. And so I'm like coming in, third leg. I'm like third leg or the third wheel. I want to feel like that. So, I'm just going to get married. You jump into it because you were too busy looking at everybody else that was married, not knowing that the Most High had you in a situation for a reason. And you were supposed to be learning in that situation. Now, what should you be learning? Philippians 4:11. Read this real quick. What should you be learning in whatever situation you're in?
Philippians chapter 4, verse 11. Philippians 4:11.
Read that.
Not that I speak in respect of want.
Paul saying, listen, man, I'm not saying that I want something, right? He said, I'm not going to be speaking all day about what I want. It's not about what I want in life. My life doesn't consist about what I want, the things that I want. Read on.
For I have learned.
He said, because what I've learned, Paul's telling you, what he's learned being in Christ is what?
In whatsoever state I am.
Remember, he's telling us in 1 Corinthians 7 what state to exist in.
Yeah.
That's why I said it's good if a man so lives or exists or to be in this situation. What state am I in? What condition am I under? How do I look at that condition that I'm under? He said, I've learned in Christ that what?
Whatsoever state I'm in,
Go ahead.
I am therewith to be content.
It says no matter what state that I'm in, I'm what?
Therewith to be content.
Another word for content is I'm satisfied. A lot of people are not satisfied. And this is the beginning of inheriting a negative mind. Because I'm not satisfied. But me not being satisfied is a breaker of my concentration. Because now it rules my mind. My condition starts to dominate my mind. Which means more thought about worrying, more thought about being discontent, less time focusing on who? The Most High. So the Most High, after you done thought about how bad your situation is, and the person that the Most High got you with, and how unfortunate you are,
Unfortunate circumstances over
I
there.
got all the, by the 23rd hour of the day that you've looked at all the unfortunate things in your life. There's only 1 hour left in the day to think about something positive. There's only 1 hour left. Because all day, all you saw was failure. All you see is, I don't like my condition.
What I don't got.
What I don't have. That's why Paul said, man, I've learned in Christ that no matter what state that I'm in, I've learned to be what?
Content.
Content, man. It's valuable. Because you know what that does? It doesn't allow your mind to be robbed from concentrating on the Most High. Because dissatisfaction is a major key when it comes to me not being able to think good, think positive towards the Lord. It's a major key. Go back to, let that go. Go back to 1 Corinthians 7.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 26. Verse 27. Slide. Art thou bound unto a wife? Seek not to be loosed. Art thou loosed from a wife?
Are you recently divorced or you recently broke up? You're no longer together? Yeah, it didn't work out? You split? Things just fell apart? It didn't last? What do you want to call it? You're loosed. You're not together no more. So should I go ahead and look for the rebound? Because that's what we like to do.
Yep.
I need to catch a rebound. I need to back up the losses and recover the losses that I have. So should I now be in the mind frame of recouping what I lost? Because in that recoupment process, that's going to occupy my thoughts all over again. Now that's another battle, and that's another strategic opponent that's going to keep me away from thinking about the Most High. Because now I'm thinking about recouping what I lost. I got to get back what I lost, man.
Redeem myself.
I got to redeem myself. I can't go out like this.
Can't go out like that.
I can't. You know what? I don't lose. I don't lose. I win. So I'm not gonna look like no loser. I'm not about to feel like no loser. I'm a winner. Remember the guy
That's a spirit right there.
Man said it's a man that's a brother, I should say. They used to come to class. He called recently, and he was talking about how unfair God is. He called it, talking about, God's not fair. I started a new job. I got fired, got laid off.
Oh my God.
On the day that
Long hair don't care?
yeah. He said I got laid off.
Yeah.
On the day I got paid. I was supposed to get paid that day. He laid me off on my payday. And he didn't pay me.
That means you didn't get your check like
Ain't
2-3 weeks later.
Oh, man. That check got to come by mail. That check got to come in the mail. You ain't getting that check in hand.
Nah.
They're going to mail you that check.
Snail mail.
They don't want you in the office. Or they let you go. They don't want you back in that office. They'll escort you with security out to the door. We don't want you back in here. You've been excused.
Yeah.
He said, man, God is unfair. I said, man, I ain't seen you in class about 2-3 years.
Oh, man.
He said, but that ain't like me to be losing like this.
Hmm.
I'm a winner.
Oh.
I've always been a winner.
Yeah.
I always make things happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
This ain't like me to lose. I just got kicked out of my apartment. And they hit
paid
me.
the bill. He said,
He paid the bill. And the blinds were broken. And they charged them $1,100 for some broken blinds.
Come on, bro.
He said, "What's going on? I refuse to accept this. I refuse. You can be mad at the Most High because you've been peeping out your blinds too much.
Yeah.
And now you got some broken blinds, and you got that permanent opening in the blinds that don't close.
It's got a crease.
Yeah, that crease.
Yeah, crease in the blind.
They got that permanent opening where it look like somebody always looking outside. It's always in the same spot. You got that permanent breakage in the blind, and now you're fuming about how this ain't fair. But you are occupied with finances. You occupied with gain.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm back at my mama's house, man. What kind of man am I? What kind of man is this? I just ain't me. Back in my mama house. Okay. Because in your mind, you can't take the loss. A lot of people can't take losses. So they're angry. They're bitter. They're contaminated because they've lost. All Paul is saying is, listen, I'm going to give you the best mind to be in. You need to learn what I've learned in Christ. That no matter if I'm up, I'm content, I'm satisfied. If I'm down, I'm satisfied. You need to learn this mind frame. He said, you need to exist in this state of being. This state of existence where you're good whether you up or down. Remember, you came in this world by yourself. You were born by yourself. He says, surely you shall not take anything out of this world. You brought nothing in this world, and you will take nothing out of it. So why are you so angry that you lose something in it? It's not going with you anyway. It's not coming with you. The job's not going with you. That relationship ain't going with you. Most men really don't really outlive their wives anyway, by number.
10, 15.
Yeah. Most women outlast their husbands anyway. I don't know if it's by reason of stress or lifestyle, whatever. I don't know.
It's risky living. It's hard living.
I don't know.
Something's going on.
I don't know what it is, but maybe it's risky living. I don't know. Most men go out quicker anyway. Right. That is a common thing. But you can't take nothing with you. But why am I so angry when I lose? Because I don't accept. I don't have this acceptance of my condition. I can't accept this condition. Because the mind has grown negative. It's grown toxic. And this is why he's teaching against that. He's teaching against that negative mind. That's why he said, if you lose one, then don't what?
Seek not and what?
He said, don't try to regain and recoup and recover. Move on. There's more life to live. You lose the job, they fire you on your payday. Go get another one. Somebody dip on you, took your heart and wrung it out like a rag, like a wet rag. Took all the virtue and the goodness out of you, out of that heart you got. The heart was little anyway. It wasn't really full and warm anyway. The heart is wicked anyway. But whatever little good you had in it, they just took it and wrung it out and squeezed every little drop of goodness out of it. Then you know what? The heart pump more blood into it and move on. Because that's what we all got to do. Be content in my situation and move forward and not blame the Most High, not think on the Most High in an evil mind frame. Read on.
But, and if thou marry, thou hast not sinned.
It said, but if you do get married, hey, ain't nothing wrong with it. Okay, good for you. You got married, great. But you know what? You still need to learn how to operate in a certain capacity. Read on.
And if a virgin marry, she hath not sinned.
Go ahead.
Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh.
Go ahead.
But I spare you. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
This is not about just husbands and wives. This is not about man and woman. It's not about couples. It's about what?
Your priority.
It's about priorities. What's the topic of the class?
Focus driven concentration.
This is about concentration, man. This ain't about no damn woman, about no man. It's not about no money. He's using this reference because this is what people suffer from these conditions. Either the acquiring of one, of a relationship is problematic, or the departing from a relationship is problematic. Both are problematic. That's why it says they both shall have their issues. He said, but I'm going to spare you. Whether you're married or not, you're going to have troubles. Marriages aren't like these perfect love stories that you read in a fairy tale book growing up in elementary school. It doesn't always function well. It doesn't always, it isn't always positive, and there's not always a lot of plus sides. Unless it says marriage is honorable before all. It said, and the bed what?
Undefiled.
It said the only way marriage stays good if the bed is what?
Undefiled.
That's only that you keep the bed pure. That's one of the good things you can do for a marriage. Keep it pure. That's one of the best things that can keep a marriage going. Because if not, then comes the scars. Then comes the blame. Then comes the comparison. Then comes all these other things. It's not about marriage, it's about focus. He's telling them, listen, whether you got it or you don't, you still need to worry about where your mind is at. Read on.
And they that weep, as though they wept not.
What he's saying is, okay, you've lost, it didn't go well, the relationship went downhill, it went south. Okay, it hurts, but don't do what? He said if you're crying, obviously you're weeping, that means you're hurting. There's a part of you that don't feel good. Losses don't feel good. Okay, we got that. We understand that. But what is he saying right here? In order for you to function in Christ, you got to do what? He says those that weep, be as though they what?
Wept not.
So what does that mean?
Can't affect
That means
the outcome, the output.
that means you can't be so caught up in the loss. You can't be so consumed in the loss, in the pain of the loss, because the loss is pain is associated with the loss. So the crying is from the fact that bad things happened in this situation. My trust was broken. My love was thrown in the trash. You know, I spent a lot of money. I invested a lot. I spent a lot of time. I invested so much. I put so much trust in this individual. They took all that and used it. They used me. They abused me, whatever, so on and so forth. All the tears are coming from the quantification of all the pain associated with what you put into it. Because you ain't really crying a lot if you really invest much. You ain't crying. You're not crying much if you ain't lose much. He said, well, man, treasure is whole be also. But if you put in some real tough effort and some hard fought spirit into a relationship, yeah, it's gonna hurt more. If you invest more, it's gonna hurt more. That's why I tell men and women, hey, don't just jump in a relationship. Make that person invest. Because people don't care about what they don't have to invest in.
Yep.
If there is no investment, if a woman is too easygoing, I don't want to be lewd. But if a woman is too charitable with certain aspects of her body,
Terrible in the flesh.
charity, the wrong type of charity, and there was no real investment there, there will be no real care there either. There's no investment, and if a man is so starstruck where he's doing all the investment, and there's an over investment on one behalf on a man's side, and he's not making that woman give up anything, fight, prove themselves, then hey, if it falls apart, you're gonna be hurt.
Yep.
You're gonna feel like you lost the most. But regardless, he said if you did lose, if you are suffering, he said be as though you weep not. Meaning, don't let that consume your mind. Still be able to move on, get past that, so you can put your mind back on the Father. You always have to put your mind back on the Most High, regardless of the circumstance. Read on.
And they that rejoice, as though they rejoice not.
And don't get too excited. Okay, yes, okay, you got married. Okay, you had the wedding, whoop-de-whoop, everything went well. Everybody knows it's all fun and dandy. You solidified it. It's locked in. Everybody knows. Yeah, y'all two is one flesh now. Great. Don't congratulations. Don't get too caught up in the joy of it. Read on.
And they that buy, as though they possess not.
And if you bought a house, don't get too caught up in the purchase. Because the first thing a person says, man, I bought this house. Now I gotta put my spirit.
Yep.
I gotta put my spirit into the house.
Or they posted on social media, I got the keys.
and
you know,
Gotta show it off.
living room and all that. You put it on IG or something like that.
Real people that buy houses, they don't even want to know. They don't even want to know. They don't want you to know where they live at.
It's a young thing. Right? It
It is a young thing because
it's a young man.
you know why? Because it's an accomplishment. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, it is an accomplishment. It does feel like, you know what? I've worked for something. I acquired something because I put in such and such amount of effort. I made this plan. I saved. I was diligent with my circumstance, and from my diligence, I can see the fruit of my labor.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to see the fruits of their labor. Okay, cool. You got the house. Great. Now, is your mind going to be consumed with the upkeep of it, or the furniture that you put into it, or the fact that you got to put spirit into it? You know, I just bought this house. Is that going to consume you? Because when you look at Deuteronomy 20, when a man go to war, if he got a house, he ain't dedicated it yet. The Most High say, man, send that man back home.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a good warrior, because where's his mind going to be at?
House.
You got a wife, you're newly married, and you haven't spent a year with cheering your wife up. Get this man out of here, because where's this man's mind going to be at?
Where he's losing.
I'm singing sad songs. Huh?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Why am I fighting? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave. Look at what I'm leaving behind. Or if I'm just too afraid, send that man off.
Yeah.
He got the wrong spirit on him, because he's gonna infect the rest of the body. It's about focus, man. It's all about focus and concentration. How much can you focus on the Most High in a day, and not be consumed with what you don't have, what you lost, what you need, and what you want? How much can you focus? That's what got Cornelius to have an angel come down and pay him a visit from his prayers, his fasting, and his alms. That's what had Cornelius have an angel come down in bright white shining apparel and say, a memorial of your efforts have reached the Most High. That's a breakthrough. Where what you've done on earth, the Most High takes notice of it. That's a real breakthrough. You done broke through the heavens. Your efforts broke through the heavens. How much can you focus? That's all Paul is saying. He's laying down a format of how to function and what mentality to stay in that'll keep you positive and not negative. Read on.
Come. And they that use this world as not abusing it.
He said, don't get too caught up in this world. Don't try to just go check off every box. I got to go to Europe. I got to go to Thailand. I got to go to Singapore. I got to go to Malaysia. I got all these plans and all these things to do. Take away your focus from who? The Most High. Read on.
And they that buy, as though they possess not.
And that's why he's saying you have to learn how to balance and prioritize and make sure you're able to focus at all times. Don't get too caught up where your mind is taken away. Okay, you got a new car, great. But it's not enough for our people. Our people, now I got to get them rims. I got to hit the lot. I got to hit the rim shop. I got to get the sound in there. I got to get the beats in there. I got to put my spirit into it. I got to, I got to make sure, I deck it out the way I want to. I got to get the window tint. I got to do all these things. I got to customize it. All that is a what? It's a distraction. Because you know what I could have been doing? Instead of customizing, I could have been studying. I could have been praying. I could have been giving alms. I could have been fasting. I could have been getting the Most High's attention. But I'm customizing. I'm putting my spirit into things. Read on.
And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away.
All this stuff don't last, man. All the stuff we waste our time on, worrying about, trying to fix up and maintain, it don't last anyway. It's not going to last. Read on.
But I would have you, without carefulness. He that is unmarried careth for the things that belong to the Lord.
Read.
How he may please the Lord.
He said, now he's showing you what? That within, whether you're married or not, he's showing the benefits of having a single mind. Even if you're married, you should still function as if you have a single mind. Not that you should neglect the other person, but that it doesn't take too much of your focus away.
It's not the main course of focus.
It's not. A lot of people in the world think, happy wife,
Happy life.
happy life. That is not true. That is not true. You know what? A wicked woman is given to who?
A wicked man.
A wicked man. But
That's a true statement.
that's a true statement.
Message.
Is if she ain't happy, that's because the Most High is not happy with you.
Yeah.
And a godly woman is given to him that what? Fear the Lord. So it's a happy wife is a reflection of a happy father. That's what that is. The Most High give you a decent woman when your actions are deserving of such. The Most High reward that. But if you got a demon at home, maybe because you're a demon to the Most High.
Yeah.
Do you ever think about that? Read.
But he that is married care for the things of the flock.
What verse you on?
33. But he that is married
No, read verse 32.
Come. But I would have you without carefulness. He that is unmarried care for the things that belong to the Lord.
So he's saying, showing you how if I'm detached from something that can have a heavy pull on me, then I'm freed up to have my mind more aware on the Most High. My mind is more free, the less I'm contained or caught up thinking about this other individual. My mind is more accessible. Read on.
How he may please the Lord.
You have more thought time available. Read on.
But he that is married care for the things that are of the world.
He's just showing you.
Now, why? Because I have to keep this spirit in pleasure. I have to keep this spirit wants the new bag, the new shoes. This spirit wants to go to this restaurant, eat this kind of food. The spirit wants to go over here, go to vacation. You gotta save money for vacation. We gotta renew our vows.
Yeah.
There's so many different pulls that they're consuming them. The number one consumer is women when it comes to economics.
Yeah.
Men spend less money when it comes to as far as the consumer market. That's why corporations cater to women, right? For products and services.
You got something now?
So the spirit's always pushing our women's mind
There's doors open
to
at the
do
back.
what? To augment themselves by buying things versus that mind being catered to investing in the household.
Yep.
So to keep the butterfly, to keep the spirit that we're pursuing, we gotta do. Okay, well, we gotta find what do you want? What do you need? What can I do to keep your mind here?
You're good with the studio apartment. They're not good with that studio apartment.
How about that?
You're good with the studio. They're like, no, we need a place where we can lay down some roots and the family could grow. And this is too small, and and then there's an influence, an outside influence
Yes.
that's very strong on women, and it's usually other women at the workforce. That's a very strong influence because they pull up in the latest edition.
Yeah.
They got the biggest rock on their finger.
Yeah.
You got an eighth of a carat on your woman's finger. I'm just
Eighth of a carat.
You got an eighth of a carat. And if you don't turn the finger the right way and it don't catch the light,
Ain't shining.
the right way at the right angle, ain't no glistening coming off that.
It's tough.
You got the James Avery band. It ain't got no stones. How long you expect them to have no stones? Or how powerful is that influence from them other women at work that's typing on their keyboard and they got this big old rock, and every time they drink a drink, they make sure they drink a drink with the big rock sticking out like this.
Wow.
Every time they drink something, they make sure
Yeah.
you see in their Yeti cups or their Stanley cups.
Wow.
Every time they pick up their Stanley cups and their espressos, they make sure they pick it up with that hand with that big old rock on it.
Wow.
And they're typing. They're typing on a computer, and all you do is look over on the desk, and all you see is that big old bling. And they got this eighth of a carat that they spin around. They don't even want to show it off. They spin around like this. They put it this way.
Be a modest guy.
They type this way. They spin the ring around. They don't want to show it off. They're like embarrassed. Like, like embarrassed. Like, hey, what happened to your ring? You ain't wearing your ring no more. They're embarrassed. They ain't happy for long. You know why? Because it's always going to be more. There's always going to be bigger and better. And therefore, you're going to be in a race to maintain the pleasure of whatever tickles that woman's fancy. Whatever garners that woman's attention, you're going to be in a race to satisfy that want. She got to trade the car in every 2 years. You know, she can't have, you're okay with, 50 mile an hour AC. She ain't okay with that. She can't show up to work sweating because it's going to run the makeup down. So it's like, you know what? I need the better car. But you're going to be in a race. That's married life. He's explaining the difficulties of married life is there's going to be an occupational focus.
Those outside pursuits that penetrate the household, those complaints, and looking on the other side of the fence, that takes the mind that should be dedicated to the Father and the prayer and the development and service and counseling to carnal physical affairs.
Yep.
That have to be taken care of because the house is under duress and stress behind the weight of all these pulls.
Yep. And the fact that you can't really maintain, he said no man can serve who? Two masters, man. That's the hard part of being married.
Yeah.
You will settle it in yourself and say, I'm okay with just eating ramen, macaroni and cheese, hamburger helper. That's not enough. It's like, no, we need to go out sometimes. We don't go out. We need steak. We need baked potato. We need green beans. We need asparagus. We need salmon. Sometimes you're going to go get that. You know what I'm saying? But the desire for it will make a man feel like, man, I'm not
doing enough.
I'm not doing enough. And this is why women will get online and say, I need a high value man. Because I have needs that my man cannot keep up or maintain. So therefore, I'm not content with my man. All these things come from knowing how to be content.
I got something to follow.
Yeah.
It's Philo, page 23, and it explains the addiction to pleasure seeking, and it's basically off of the Adam and Eve concept. It says, but it's juggleries. Jugglery is another word for deceits or deceptions. It's juggleries and deceits. Pleasure does not venture to bring directly to the man, but first offers them to the woman, and by her means to the man. So what it's explaining is the idea of pleasure, the idea of luxury first attaches itself to the woman as a usurper to bring to the man, just like Adam and Eve.
What he was explaining also is why Satan went through Eve to get to the man.
Come.
Because he couldn't just go straight to the man
Come.
to get the man's attention and focus or to get him to submit to what he was doing.
Come.
He had to go through who? The woman.
His object of affection.
Yeah.
Exactly. It says,
Where he gets his pleasure.
it says, and by her, as I said, acting in a very natural and sagacious manner. For in human beings, the mind occupies the rank of the man, meaning the man's responsibilities. It says, and the sensations that of the woman. And pleasure joins itself to and associates itself with the sensations first of all. So it's explaining in the psychology of man. Philo's explaining man occupies in a responsible or in a responsibility or logical, thought-driven lifestyle. That's their first goal. Take care of the house, take care of the rib, take care of the children,
Check the boxes.
do my job, check my boxes, get my job done, go home, etc., etc. Versus the woman's mind is wired to sensations. It says, and pleasure joins itself to and associates itself with the sensations first of all. And then by their means.
I don't feel.
Yeah. I'm not happy today. Today, I want to do more. I'm uncontent. I think we should go do X, Y, and Z. This is a lot of times when men go above and beyond in the first place. They go travel. They get their passports. They sit here and they indulge into. What it's explaining is that is an intemperate way of thinking. I'm gonna read back real quick just to prove that. It says, for temperance especially embraces economy and frugality. Economy means the government of the house. It says, and frugality means minimal living, minimal lifestyle. That's a temperate way of operating a household. It says, and pares down the necessities to a small number, preferring a life of austerity and dignity. And this is also the mindset of Christ. Because Christ's whole objective was austerity. It was strict, it was rigid, and it was religious. That is a temperate mind, a temperate household, or a temperate relationship. But intemperance is devoted to extravagance and superfluity, which are the causes of luxury and effeminacy to both soul and the body.
Superfluidity is excess.
Or when you look at a man, how do you know a man is becoming extravagant?
He taps into that. He is the super. You ever seen the man at the mall? Like they always get their eyes done.
They cut
Their
their
eyes done.
eyebrows.
Eyebrows is getting done. Nowadays,
He's
he's
got
got male makeup,
He's getting pedicures.
pedicures, manicures. Nothing wrong with getting pedicures. But
Not like that,
there's a spirit behind it. There is a spirit behind that
Hey.
scenario.
Hey,
Listen,
hey, hold up.
Look, I just ain't have no crazy feet out.
That's what I'm saying. You got
Hey,
There's a people that got
crazy.
crazy feet out.
Like,
Like,
yeah.
I went there one time. Moab was clowning, but I ain't never got a pedicure in my life. I was like 22. I was like, bro, you need to make this a regular thing, bro. It was bad. The bunions was crazy out.
It's musty and crusty.
Yeah, bro. It was
He
bad.
came out them little fake flip flops on. Them little
Yeah, the toes separate.
flat flip flops that separate your toes, the little sponges in between them.
More was
It was
ain't
great.
bad.
The massage the toes and everything. It was a good time.
But ain't no wrong with pepper. You know what I'm
Every
saying?
once in a blue moon, but that can't be a regular, day schedule. I get my hands done. I got to be glistening,
My
out,
cuticles
polished.
out there, right?
Well,
Oh, my goodness.
when you have a membership, you know what I'm saying? You got a membership.
That's a problem, bro.
Give me the regular.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they know what you want
They know your
already.
name.
Yeah. I'm going there for a facial.
Yeah.
Oh
Like-
my goodness.
Like,
Come on, bro.
if you're getting pampered and done up, that's a man that's going into being more feminine. That's an effeminate sign. They call them metro men.
Yeah. Metrosexual.
Metro men, metrosexuals. They're just as pampered in themselves as women are,
Or more.
or they're just as cute. You know what I'm saying? That's dangerous.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was in Georgia back in the day. I'm not blowing Georgia.
Oh my goodness.
Man,
Georgia
the
story.
scouts were immaculate at. The scout side. You see, bro, with locks or braids out. Nothing wrong with braids. Braids are
Fresh,
actually
still
dope.
fresh.
I'm
out.
from Texas. I've seen braids in locks my whole life. I've been around America at least, right? These were like the most perfect lines out. Like
Yeah.
it's like they were high definition braids out with every little hair. You could see every detail.
Everything's in order. Out.
There was
Every
perfect-
part
Every
separated to
part.
perfection.
and his skin was regular right here, and then right when we get to the scalp line, just everything just glowed out. And like, I'm not saying it's hair capital, I guess, of the world. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brown Brothers, all these different hair companies out there.
Yeah, I'm just saying it was so common to see that was so kept.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not dissing people taking care of their. They got to take care. They got to take care of it. I respect that. But it was extreme.
But even in college, I remember I always was curious about how consistent the men were, at least. Keeping up with their hair. If you had waves, that was your life. You were brushing your hair every class period, all day, every day. If you didn't brush your hair, you was freaking out. If someone touched your head, you was freaking out. You was about to fight, go to war. Or with the J's. Don't step on my J's. I'm at a party. Don't step on my J's, even though there's like 100 people in this one little confined space.
Yeah.
But I'm going to box you if you step on my
Oh
J's
my
right now. We're going to go to
God.
war right now off of this fit. This fit got to stay fresh and pristine all night long. But you start seeing the addictions to this pleasure. The pleasure, whether it been my exterior look, the pleasure with my money, because a lot of men, they just buy the most expensive things. Like you get FAFSA, right? FAFSA is supposed to support your books. Supposed to buy your books, pay for your housing. But you got a big check and you're going to blow it on a Gucci bag. and you stunting all semester long with this Gucci belt. But the problem is that addiction caused you not to be able to pay your bills at the end of the semester. Now you're working in the cafeteria with me, and I was also broke, trying to make ends meet. Still got your Gucci belt in the kitchen flipping burgers. And I'm like, bro, you had the bread. You got a fat check? Oh, man, I had to stay fat. You got the Gucci bag, that little fanny pack in the kitchen now. Like, bro, come on, man. Is it worth it, G? Was it really worth it? Yeah, it was.
Now
Still brushing your hair.
some mustard on it.
Brother, Exactly. And that
Messed
or
up.
it gets stolen.
Yeah.
You got to put in the community lockers out. And any old ransom can come in and take your stuff. But the point of the matter is, I just want to finish this real quick.
Yep.
It says, and the mind being immediately caught by the bait, because the bait is the idea of comfort. Because ultimately, seeking pleasure is a way of seeking comfort, seeking something past what the Most High is giving you. The Most High is giving you a particular lifestyle, a particular way of living. But I want something else to add on to it, because I need a little bit more to fill in the gaps, fill in the space.
And he says that pleasure is the enemy of virtue.
Con.
And that's what we seek. We're seeking pleasures.
Con. It says, and the mind being immediately caught by the bait becomes a subject instead of a ruler, and a slave instead of a master, and an exile instead of a citizen. So it's explaining the concept of when I give my mind. This is why Paul said in Romans 6, you are subject to what you obey. Whatever I give my mind, my dedication, and my spirit to, that is your master. That's your Lord. That's your idol. Ultimately, that's why money is an idol. That's why pleasure is an idol. That's why free time, idleness is an idol. Because whatever I dedicate my spirit to, wherever I give my mind or allow my mind to occupy on a consistent, daily, hourly basis is my God at that moment. And this is what the Most High is always warring with us.
That's the struggle on earth. That's the struggle you got to fight with all your life.
Forever.
Is the fact that you got to struggle with the things that enter in your mind and the desire for them,
Yeah.
versus what the Most High's will is and the desire for Him desire for you to please Him. There's always going to be this two-way struggle. What I want versus what the Most High wants. And he's explaining that you increase that struggle when you add on a partner.
Yeah.
Then that struggle increases, because now it's not just about what you want.
Nope.
It's also about the satisfaction of what that other person that you married wants as well. That is a pull also.
Yeah.
Then comes the children.
Yeah.
Then it's about what the kids want.
Yeah.
Then it's the fact that you're looking less than capable at being able to take care of your household because you're not able to keep your children up in a certain particular shoe game,
Brother,
fashion game,
that's real, right?
brand. Brand is very important to kids.
I used to come home complaining that because I had, we had some older brothers in the camp, like maybe 1 or 2 years older than me. So I get to wear the hand-me-downs, and the hand-me-downs wasn't fly either. So the hand-me-downs, they already faded, and they Old Navy. And Old Navy was not rocking back then. And you going to school, bro. And
You got one pair of new shoes,
brother.
And you got 6 play shoes.
I was with Judah. Judah didn't play. Judah was looking at signs. They was looking at name brands. And if you didn't have the fresh cut, I ain't had no fresh cut. My father cut my hair, so that wasn't, no diss. But nah, he knows what it was. he knows what it was. If you see my old pictures, you'll know what it was too. It was not
that picture said I tried. That's what that was the subtitle.
I had math equation in my head. It was peaks and valleys. I'm like, come on, bro. I had the widow's peak at 12 years old, bro. That's not gangster. But the point was, you go into school, Old Navy, bad haircut, no shoes, no gangster shoes, but you getting clowned. I said, you come home complaining. And the answer is, hey, man, you're going to have to wait. And you're going to wait for 10 more years.
You know what I was told? Go get a job.
Oh.
That's what I was told. That's why I was working at 15. You know what I'm saying? You want them shoes? Go get you a job.
Oh, man.
You want what they got? Go work for it. Okay, I realize what it is. I will not be getting those.
Yeah.
That's the answer. But you're right. I like the example that you brought out, showing how extravagance, pleasure, is the enemy of logic and reason.
Okay.
But also it steals away the mind, which is central command.
Yeah.
And it starts to pull it away to make the mind a slave. It's showing you through the impulsiveness of pleasure and pleasure-seeking thoughts is how you become a slave to those pleasure-seeking thoughts. Yeah. You're no longer in control of your mind. The Most High is no longer there either. But let's go back to where we were in 34.
Come. 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 34. There is difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman cared for the things of the Lord.
So there's talking about a single woman care for the things of what?
The Lord.
Because there's no vying for power. There's no, did you do this? Did you take care of this? Did you take care of that? He's saying that it's not unlawful and it's not illegal to be married. There's nothing wrong with marriage. Marriage is great. But he's showing you that when you do institute a marriage, then there's a division of concentration. Then you must divide your mind. And the struggle to give the Most High even more becomes harder. Not impossible, but harder. So there will be difficulties when you get married. And the difficulties is you're going to have to separate your mind and giving that man what he wants and his expectation as a wife. But also you got to give the Most High still what he expects from you also as a daughter of his, as a daughter of a child of the Most High. You got two obligations.
Yep.
It's no longer just you, yourself, and you. It's you and that man and the Most High. And then whatever that man's attached to, whatever responsibilities he has, you have to supplement what he's not able to do due to his responsibilities. That means you got to fill in gaps. That means you have to do more of what you may not have signed up for initially. But if that, especially the busier that man gets, the more that you have to learn how to juggle. And then you'll either get the mind frame of, you know what, I'm happy in my condition and I'm content serving my husband, although I know he's occupied at all times. Or you're going to start looking at the situation like a curse. And you're going to start entertaining the idea of being loosed. Woman, thou art loosed. Read.
Yeah.
God, the unmarried woman, care for the things of the Lord, that she may be holy both in body and in spirit.
So now she has to make sure, which is easier for her, because she doesn't have another pull. There's not another person struggling for attention. I'm able to give all my attention to the Father. That's the benefit of a single woman. She can give the Most High more, both in her body and her mind. She can dedicate more to the Father. Read on.
God, but she that is married, care for the things of the world.
He said, but a worldly woman gonna be caring for the things of the world. Read on.
How she may please her husband.
How she may do what?
Please her husband.
Because now the man is going to have specific needs that are not necessarily the same as the father's. Now she has to satisfy both parties, both entities, which is a bit more of a struggle. Not impossible, and it's not unlawful. It's just more attention that you're going to have to divide between two sources. So now you got to have time for yourself, which women that really understand know that there's not a lot of time for themselves. Women that's really putting in a lot of work, they understand you get crumbs. But that's not a deal breaker. Because you see the total benefit of a household.
Yep.
Read.
And this I speak for your own profit.
But he's telling you what? He's telling you what will benefit you so that there's no separation of what you owe the Most High versus what you owe people. Because you married, you owe that other person their due benevolence.
Yep.
You owe that other person that due benevolence. That due benevolence means you owe them goodwill too. You don't get to be married and neglect them. You don't get to do that either. Read.
Not that I may cast a snare upon you.
That's why he said, I'm not trying to make this sound like marriage is something you should run from. That you know what's not good for you spiritually, it is good. The Most High said it is not good that a man should be what? Alone. The Most High said that. He said, but what?
But for that which is comely.
He says, because what I'm telling you is for the benefit of what's going to help you mentally. What's comely is attractive. He's talking about not looks. He's talking about what's beneficial to the situation. What's beneficial to the situation based on what? Read on.
And that ye may attend upon the Lord without distraction.
He says, so that you can attend upon the Most High without what?
Distraction.
Get the definition of distraction.
Distraction in the 1828. The act of distracting, a drawing apart, separation, confusion from a multiplicity of objects crowding on the mind and calling the attention different ways.
What do you call this? What do you call this in modern day terms? He says, what's the definition of distraction? The actual definition of distraction. Read that last part you just read.
It says confusion from a multiplicity of objects crowding on the mind.
Stop. What does that sound like? What's the medical term for that? Yeah.
Anxiety?
Yeah, that's anxiety. What you got?
I got a good one.
No, this is good. I'm just saying. This is not. We're not getting past this. Add this too. What you got too? This is good also.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's saying. He said there's a crowding of the mind. Of what?
Crowding on the mind and calling the attention different ways.
So your mind is crowded, and your attention is being split where?
Different ways.
Different ways. This is why Paul is laying down this particular mind state to be in, or state of mind to be in, that you should exist in, so that you don't have too many things crowding your mind, because it's a fight to take your attention from who? The Most High. So that certain things, a marriage is a blessing, but it shouldn't be a distraction. Being single is a blessing, but it shouldn't be a distraction from all the things that, what? We're going to get to that too. Well, you know what? We might as well add this on here. Ecclesiastes 3 and 23. And then somebody else give me Ecclesiastes 9 and 11 and 12. And then hold this definition that you got right here. Jeremiah. Read that.
Gone. Ecclesiastes chapter 3 and verse 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters.
So when you're single, you start getting what?
Curious.
When you're single, your mind gets where? It's curious. I wonder who's the right fit for me.
Yeah.
I wonder what's a good fit. I wonder who the Most High gonna set me up with. I wonder when it's my turn to walk down the aisle, and I can be handed off by my parents. I wonder when I'm gonna get the ring, or the somebody loving me the way that I deserve to be loved. All this thoughts start running in the mind. How long am I gonna be alone? How long am I gonna be by myself? How long am I gonna be single? All these are what? These are thoughts. These are becoming distractions. He said, be not what?
It says, be not curious in unnecessary matters.
I can only not be curious in unnecessary matters when I live in a state of contentment. If I live in a state of contentment and I'm satisfied with my condition, then I'm free to give my mind to the Most High, unadulterated, undefiled. I can give the Most High my whole mind. Give me the next verse.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 11. Envy not the glory of a sinner.
And that's why, you know what? We get curious because we start looking at people that don't even believe in the Most High.
Yeah.
And it seems like their life, they have a leg up on us. Or they're reaping benefits that we should be reaping, and they don't even fear the Most High. They don't even read the Bible. But yet I see their happiness, or I see their perceived happiness. And then that curiosity turns to what? Envy. That curiosity turned to envy. I wonder. I wonder this. I wonder that. Then that wonder, you start meditating on that wonder. I wonder how this is going to be. I wonder when it's going to be my turn for that, my turn for this. That wonder starts turning to envy. Because it goes from, I wonder to how come.
Yeah.
How come she gets to have this type of husband? How come he gets to have this type of wife? How come? What did I do wrong? That mind gets contaminated super quick. What did I do wrong? Why am I so unworthy? What's wrong with me? I must be a problem. There must be something wrong with me. Then comes the flood of negative thoughts. Read.
Envy not the glory of a sinner, for thou knowest not what shall be his end.
You don't know what the Most High got set up for another person. But looking outside of our condition is one of the main things that is a distraction to growth, to spiritual growth. Looking at other people. Looking at what other people have, how they live, what they got that you don't got. That comparative nature. Comparing yourself to people is a distraction. You got to be content on what you got and where you are. Don't worry about what everybody else got. You don't know what the Most High got set up. You don't know what that end of that individual is. Read on.
Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in.
It says, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have what?
Pleasure in.
That's because you know what we're envious of other people's pleasure. That pleasure, like you read in Philo,
Yeah.
is an enemy to the mind. He said the man is perceived as the head, right? The man is perceived as the head. So what destroys the mind and distracts the mind is pleasure.
Yes, it's for in human beings, the mind occupies the rank of the man.
So he's showing you that a man is defiled if his mind is what? Split, contaminated. But what contaminates the mind? Pleasure,
The sensations.
which is pleasure. What the feelings, how people feel. Your feelings will destroy your ability to focus on the Most High because you're feeling a certain way. That's a hell of a distraction. It's feelings.
Yeah.
That's why I said, be content on where you are. Bypass those thoughts. Finish that?
But remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave.
He said, man, the Most High, you don't know what the Most High got set up for other people. Stay in your lane. Deal with what the circumstance the Most High got you in. Stop looking over the fence at other people's lives. Be content on your life. And give the Most High what you owe him. We all owe the Most High. But we owe the Most High a positive thought. A pure mind. Let that go and finish this in now I want that 35. Go to James chapter 1 verse 12 real quick.
I don't have. I might have the key.
Oh, you go over here?
Yeah.
All right.
James chapter 1, verse 12 reads, Blessed is the man that endureth temptation.
It said that's why when you live this life, there's going to be temptations coming, but all these temptations are distractions. That's all they are. Because all these are just pulls to get your mind away from the Father. That's why I said the person that can endure the idea of what I don't have, what other people got, they can endure the envy. They can endure the discontentment. They can endure whatever it is the Most High capacity the Most High got them in. The ones that can endure that, he said, they blessed. A lot of people fall victim to the fact that they can't get past these temptations, man. It's too much for them to bear. I'm not happy. I don't like the direction my life is going. But when you learn how to be content and positive, he said you get a reward in that. You receive a blessing. Read on.
God, blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised him, promised to them that love him.
Go ahead.
Let no man say, when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
Who do we first blame when we don't like our life?
The Most High.
Who gets the finger pointed at them when we're unhappy in our circumstance?
The Most High.
Why'd you give me this person?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Adam do that already?
Yep.
Didn't he say it's the woman you gave me? That's the first.
If she wasn't here, I wouldn't have sinned.
It's the woman you gave me. I didn't pick that woman. You gave me a liar. You gave me a deceiver. You gave me this woman. You gave me a woman that made me sin, brought sin to me.
Yeah.
Took no accountability whatsoever.
That's crazy. We do it all the time. All the time.
The Most High is always the first person we blame when our life isn't going the way we want it.
Yeah.
Versus looking at what did Cornelius do? How did Cornelius get the Most High's attention? He was fasting.
Right. Yeah.
He was praying. He was giving alms. Most High dropped an angel right in his house. But we wonder why. How come ain't no angels showing up like that? We're getting good words coming to us. The angel brought a good word to Cornelius. And an opportunity when you read on down. But how come we not getting that? Because we're contaminated in the mind and we're blaming the Most High about our, we're too busy blaming the Most High about our condition. And we're losing that mental battle of staying positive. If we let too much darkness in. That's why Christ said, how great is that darkness? You let a little darkness in, how great is that darkness? Because you can't serve two masters. Go ahead.
Let no man say, when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High. For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
Go ahead.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
It said when he's drawn away from what?
Of his own lust.
When his own lust get in the way. When the things that you want start to become a major focal point in your life, and that starts to rule your mind more than your pleasure, you're pleasing the Most High. That's dangerous. My lust, now I'm a slave to my lust. Read.
Come and entice. Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
So now, whose objective is to do this to you? Go to Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Start at verse 10. He's showing you that there's a progression of how your mind goes from focused to contaminated to defiled to full of sin, and sin to death. How you brought down. You're brought down from what you want. Read this right here.
God, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.
It says we're supposed to be strong in who?
In the Lord.
Read on.
And in the power of his might.
Read on.
Put on the whole armor of the Most High.
What is armor for?
Protection.
It's for protection in what? You put on armor to go where?
To go to battle.
To go to war. Armor is for war. Armor is not for fun. It's not for play. Armor is for battle. It's for war, so you can survive. It's something that you take with you as a piece, as a safety, to go into war, so you won't be penetrated by the enemy's weapons. It's a covering. Read on.
Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
But he's telling you, who is your enemy?
The devil.
The devil's your enemy. But he's going to show you how the devil approaches you. How does the devil get to you? He says, against your enemy, what?
Against
The wiles.
He said the wiles
of the devil.
He said the wiles of the devil, which means the tricks, the deceits of the devil.
God.
1 Peter 5 and 8, real quick, somebody else. 1 Peter 5 and 8. Then hold where you at. We're gonna read on about. Somebody give me 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8.
1 Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober.
He said, be what?
Be sober.
Where is sobriety held at? Is it in your feet or your legs? Where's sobriety? Where's the place for sobriety? It's in the mind, man. He said, be sober. Be clear. Be settled. Where? So sobriety is in the mind. Read.
Be vigilant.
Vigilant means aware on all sides. You're looking on all sides for danger. That means you're paying attention around you 360 degrees, all the way around you. Read on.
Because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
He said they overcame the world too. They're in a fight also. We're all in a fight against what the devil is trying to lure us with and trick us with. The Most High said we're only enticed by our own what? The only bait that the devil can use is what? your lust, what you want. So the devil studies us. And he's looking back and saying, okay, what does this person want? And what they want is what I'm going to use to be a distraction to pull them away from the Most High. It's what they want. That is what we want, is the bait that the devil has. That's why one of the best things we could have read that Christ did when he was brought up in the mountain and tempted for 40 days was when he said, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth doth man live. Because he was showing that I only take instructions. I take my instructions, and my desires are only what the Most High wants. I don't have wants. I want what the Most High wants. And if you want what the Most High wants, Satan has no bait. Satan has no ammunition. When you want what the Most High wants, Satan has no leverage to tempt you. Finish that in Ephesians.
Ephesians 6 and verse 12. And then go back to 11.
No, read verse 12.
God, Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
So is this a physical battle? This battle lies where?
In the mind.
This battle that we fight in this life is a mental battle. How much can you focus on the Most High versus how much can you be consumed with distractions? Now give me that definition that you had, my wall of distraction.
Distraction. Mental distress or derangement. It says that which amuses, entertains, or diverts. Amusement, entertainment. Division or disorder caused by dissension, tumult.
Now read what you got.
It says confusion from a multiplicity of objects and crowding on the mind.
So what does Satan do to pull you down?
Crowd your mind, trying to weigh your mind down.
It's divide and conquer.
Distraction.
Dissension and division. Satan, if he can split your mind in different ways, he got you. All he has to do is take your focus off the Most High and insert it with what you really want and start baiting you like a carrot on a string with the thing that you want. And he starts to use that bait, that carrot on a string. He starts to use that to take your mind away slowly. It's not all at once. It's incremental. He teases you with things, with what you want. It's the idea. It's the idea of what I'm going to get. Because you play with the idea. You meditate on what you want so much. You worry about things so much. So Satan will just tantalize you with what you worry about all the time. Play with you with that. Or the thing that you want, he'll hold that opportunity right in your face. Almost to where it feels like it's in reach. As soon as you go to reach it, he pull it back just a little bit more. And he's luring you, but mentally away from the Most High. That's how he's operating.
I gotta read the definition right here. It says darkness. Definition 3. A state of being intellectually clouded.
Yeah.
So that darkness that you're going into, a distraction, and that darkness is synonymous.
It's showing you that if Satan can divide your mind up and get your mind split, then he can confuse you. You could get lost. A lion, how he hunts, they have different ways of approaching the herd. The animals that stay with the herd, their safety. All the lion has to do is to get that one animal diverted away from the herd. Divide And the other lionesses hunt in packs. They got one that's a chaser. There's one that jump out, make them scatter, and there's one that come out, make them split, and then they surround and isolate the one that's split from the herd. One at a time. Lions don't eat the whole herd at once. They singly take out one at a time, piece by piece. Sometimes it's the babies, it's the little ones that can't keep up. Sometimes it's just the ones that got surprised and shook and just ran the wrong way. They didn't know where everybody else was running. That's how Satan gets you. All he has to do is cloud your mind. Cloud your mind and disorient you from where everybody else in the body is going. Everybody in the camp is going one direction, one way. Satan got your mind isolated, doing your thing based on your lust and what you like to do. So instead of being with the sisters, doing what the sisters is doing, where the safety is at, you're doing what you're doing. Where being occupied and being conformed and converted to your lust on the idea that you're getting pleasure by yourself, away from the camp. Men do it too. The men in the camp are going this direction. You are on your own path, doing what you want to do by yourself. That is the perfect place where Satan wants you at. Isolated, diverted, split from the safety of the body. Alone doing your thing. Being into what you're into. That's exactly where Satan wants you at. All you have to do is get your focus somewhere else. You're not with the men. Men ain't with the men. Sisters ain't with the sisters. They're alone, playing with lust. But you know what? This is what Satan does. This is how he hunts. All you gotta do is get your mind split. Or I flood you with worries. You're worried all day. Car broke down. Job, you lost your job. Satan put the evil in your boss to make your job hard, let you go, make your job very difficult. Then you stressing all day. You stressing so much, you're not even thinking about the Most High. You worried so much, you're no longer thinking about the Most High. Satan's laughing. Because that's where he wants you at. Read that definition again.
So
Yeah.
confusion from a multiplicity of objects crowding on the mind and calling the attention different ways.
And calling the attention where?
Different ways.
How does Satan hunt you? You're worried about different things, man. You got a lot on your mind. That's why we tell brothers to talk. That's why we tell brothers to speak. That's why we tell sisters, hey, you need to counsel. You got so much on your mind. That's where Satan wants you at. He wants your mind flooded. Because you're confused when you got a flooded mind. You're not sound. Your mind is crowded with too many things. Money. I'm thinking about money. I'm thinking about the kids. I'm thinking about the house. I'm thinking about where I'm going to be at in 5 years. I'm looking at the economy. I'm looking at my finance. I'm looking at my 401k. I'm looking at war. I'm looking at Ukraine. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at my I don't even know what I'm going to do. That's what Satan wants. He loves a mind that's confused. Because you're easy prey. Easy picking. Low hanging fruit. Because you're distracted. Too many things. Either by lust, or worrying, or fear. Read what you got.
Isaiah 8 and verse 11 through 14. Isaiah 8 and verse 11 through 14.
Isaiah chapter 8 and verse 11. For the Most High spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people.
Because the Most High understood what the disadvantage of being hyper or distracted or preoccupied or anxious with what the world is anxious, distracted, and occupied with. He says, so I'm going to give you a warning. He says, do not walk in the way of this people. Their way of operating, their fears, and their mentality. Read on.
Con, verse 12. Say ye not a confederacy.
A confederacy means an agreement. Say not, be not in the mind of agreements to this level of thinking, this way of processing. Read on.
To all them to whom this people shall say a confederacy.
Because a lot of people get into a sheep mentality. They see someone else sad, then that sad spirit jumps on them. Somebody else is discontent at the job, then all of a sudden I'm discontent at the job. Someone else complains I'm not getting enough money. Well, I don't think I'm getting enough money either. I want love in my house. I want to do this. I want to do that. Don't be in this sheep mentality of just taking on a bunch of different outside spirits. He says, I want you in this one mentality, this one way of processing, this one way of thinking. Read on.
Neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid.
Because fear is rebellion. Fear is going against what the Most High is orchestrating in your life. If I fear that I don't have enough, if I fear that I'm not living up to the standard I think I should be living, if these are my fears and my desires that are driving my actions, then I'm going contrary to the Most High. He's saying, so don't let fear, or ungodly fear at that, be the driving force to motivate your actions in life. If the fear is dictated off of material things, you're out of the spirit. If the fear is dictated off of what you want to achieve in your life, you're out of the spirit. The fear has to be dictated on if I'm in alignments with the Most High. If I'm staying in pleasure or in the Most High's good graces. That's the fear he wants from us. So he's going to clarify. He says it's not that fear is innately negative. It's just that the world's fear, how the world agrees with what you should be fearing, or how the world says you should fear.
What they consider things that are important.
What they consider important.
Or pressing issues.
Exactly.
This is a problem.
Yes. That is the mentality you should be avoiding. Read on.
God. It says, sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear.
So how can I sanctify the Lord of hosts if he's not, if pleasing him is not the priority? If making him satisfied is not the priority? Because a lot of us want to make ourselves satisfied. We want to make our life comfortable. We want to make our life livable. But the Most High is saying, my fear, my desire, my drive has to be to sanctify, to make important, to value what the Most High wants out of myself. We understand that you read in Ecclesiastes 12 and 13, the sole duty of man, the whole duty of man is to follow the Most High's commandments.
Yep.
It did not say to fulfill your lusts. It did not say make your life comfortable. It did not say build your 401k, invest in the Bitcoin, build your house up, get the new car.
And I'll say, get your credit up to
800.
800 because
interest rates going crazy.
Rates are at 8%. They're 7.5. They're never going down. You're never going to get a house. You're never going to get a house.
Yeah, exactly.
You're never going to get a house.
It's not like it was 30 years ago. You gotta get on the game right now.
You better get on it right now because you'll never get a house. Even though you live in
only get higher. Interest only get higher, so you gotta buy right now. It's gotta be your priority. What you got?
Nah, I was gonna say, I ain't gonna lie. It was me and a brother that went to this delivery, and they had a house downtown, and they were talking about how we're investing in all these houses, and that we should hop on immediately and get on top of these houses because there's no other city that
is growing
that have houses available that are on sale close in the inner city.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a big transfer of wealth in America.
Yeah.
But the middle class baby boomers control the dominant aspect of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're getting older, they're retiring. There's gonna be some houses, bro, because with the baby boomer generation, they were more secure, more sound in judgment, and a lot of houses, because taxes are going up.
Yeah.
They're becoming available anyway. A lot of elderly are going to smaller communities, senior communities. They're getting out of big houses because they can't. The kids are grown. They can't maintain this big old house by themselves.
Yeah.
So there's always gonna be some houses, bro. The Most I said one generation coming. It said one generation going.
Yeah.
It said the Most I got the earth on a cycle. There's always gonna be some damn houses.
Yeah.
Houses ain't going nowhere. You know how much undeveloped land there is?
Bro.
Just drive from one city to another city, and look at the overgrown grass and trees and woods. It's not like we're running out of land, but the fear, the idea for the purpose of fear mongering, and keeping people on edge, and keep people being consumers because they want you to buy now. Of course, the housing market at the board of real estate agents want you to buy because they get commissions. Of course they want you to spend. You got to get it now. Of course they're going to pump that fear. Bitcoin, you got to get it now. You got to do this right now.
Yeah, I'll never forget. There was a time, I think it was like a year and a half ago, where they said Carvana was going to go out of business. Now, they still might go out of business, but what they were saying is Carvana's going bankrupt. So they're going to liquidate all of their cars in the next 6 months. So you got to buy the cars right now because they're on the best deal ever. People were mass buying these Carvana cars. Low quality, low maintenance, and it's still around right now.
Oh, yeah.
The prices were shot right back
They
up.
said we thank you for that.
Yeah, got you. Yeah. Got
We need
you.
the sales too. We gotta go out of business.
Brother,
Man,
it's a marketing
It's like
play.
the
that was a
furniture
market.
place.
That was a
That's a
marketing play.
marketplace.
The furniture stores like we're
All the time. We're going out and selling right now.
And Evers, it was always going.
Always, yeah.
It took. It's like
It took a long. I saw the stop for a
15
long
years,
time,
15
bro.
years ago out of business, bro. Every month we're going out of business, brother.
80% off.
Slashing prices. They a new sign. Going out of business. You know, the boss is coming. And they would change like the reason up. You know, the boss is mad. We're going out of business. Gotta get it now. And I was like, man, they go out of business. I'm like, this is some money.
Gotta go get me a couch right now.
Took it like, damn, they still go out of business.
Oh my god.
That's a tactic, bro.
It is, bro.
That's a sales pitch.
It is.
The devil got pitches too.
Yeah.
He got pitches too. That's an example of his pitches.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, what my brother is notorious saying that we got a sales going on right
The boss
Listen,
coming in.
Doc,
The
listen,
sale
Doc.
coming in.
Listen, bro.
now. Every day there's
The same thing with weapons. There were no bullets in the academy. Academy had no bullets.
Yeah. That's true.
You had no bullets. You had people waiting outside the academy. The line was wrapping around the building.
But the price was crazy.
Yeah, $40 for 20 bullets.
Bro, that was ridiculous time.
But you know what? That your fear is where your salvation is in what? Them arms
Yeah.
and a sword.
They knew it.
You don't have no you blowing all this money. You just $40 for 20 bullets
Because there's
Crazy.
because
the food
the food's gonna go out. We're about to go to anarchy. Even with this this eclipse coming up, April 8th.
Yeah. They're going crazy.
They're already saying stock up water,
Yeah.
stock up food.
Yeah.
The power grid is gonna go out. Power grid is gonna go out. Gas prices are gonna go through the roof. There's not gonna be no gas available. Put your gas up. Make sure you got at least 3 months worth of food, just in case you're free. Get ice. Get bags of ice. Have bags of ice ready. Who's pumping this?
Have you sold any?
They got National Guard
Yeah, coming down.
already coming down and being distributed in certain areas.
Now, if something happens, listen, I hope, brothers, that there's no sacrifices.
Yep.
Because all the beans and rice, brother, it'll last for so long. Beans and rice last for so long, both last for so long.
Yeah.
We're going to have the Most High with us in general.
God.
Yep.
If it's that real, and that eclipse is the eclipse of all eclipses, if it goes down,
It's the blood moon night.
listen, if it's real, listen, if it's real, they're right. If they're right,
Then
it's Most High. Look, the class says it. Focus, driven, concentrate. How much were you concentrating before this eclipse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't use the clips to change now.
Don't stop focusing because of the eclipse. The eclipse is supposed to be like, okay, I'm ready because I've been focused.
Yeah.
I've been driven.
Yeah.
I've been concentrating.
Yep.
It's time to
So
change.
I'm not divided in my mind on what we're gonna do. I'm not confused.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
Because that panic is easy to set in
Yeah.
when there's fear. The Most High said, I didn't give you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. A mind that's sound, a mind that's whole. Sound and whole means sane.
Yeah.
An insane mind is a broken mind.
Yeah.
That's Satan's objective, to get your mind split. Now you're insane. You don't make logical decisions.
Yeah.
Read on.
It said.
What you got?
Yeah, read that in verse 13.
Now, verse 13. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear, and let him
That's a
be
major
your
point.
dread.
That's a major point.
Yeah.
Because I got a fear and dread, angering the Most High more than whatever Esau's pushing, whatever fear mongering tactic Esau's pushing.
He's
right
coming with all kind of tactics. Got people going
every couple of months. Huh?
They got toilet paper from Y2K. They got toilet paper left from COVID. You know what I'm saying? People going crazy.
And that fear, just in general, not discounting the moon and whatever's going on, the sun, whatever's going on, just in general, like you said earlier, Satan manipulates the sensations.
Yeah.
Fear is a sensation / emotion. all he has to do is keep tapping into different ways of looking at things to create that fear. So he can control you by controlling your fear. So your fear creates more distractions.
Yep. Your fear is a distraction. It's become a distraction. Because you're consumed with the idea that what if something happens? You're not even looking at the Bible anymore.
Yeah.
You're not studying anymore. That's why I said put on the whole armor of the Most High.
Yeah.
Finish what you
Yeah,
got.
that's point. Verse 14 real quick.
Verse 14. And he shall be for a sanctuary.
He said, if I have the fear of the Most High, that's the safety. That's my safety net. Because I know if I stay in enough fear, I'm going to stay in alignment with the Most High. Therefore, I have the greatest protector that I could have in any circumstance in my life.
Any crisis moment.
Any crisis moment, any doubt, any uncertainty, I know the Most High has got me because I stay in his good graces. However, he's showing the contrast. If I choose to be in confederacy with the world's fear and operate with how they operate and think how they think, read on.
Crime. But for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both.
This is going to cause you to stumble, fall on your face, and now you're going to tick off the Most High. Anger, frustrate the Most High because you've now prioritized the world's fear. You've put anxiety over comfort in the Most High. You decided that Christ is no longer my comfort, my safety net, but my money, my monetizing, my goods, my resources are my safety net. That's my defense.
My arms. Right?
Yeah,
my arms and my defense.
I'm arms.
Brothers in this I don't know.
Weapons collection.
Yeah.
Ammunition collection.
They gotta listen. The Most High is the one that protects you. At the end of the day, if you're meant to go, you can have the best aim in the world. Most High is gonna say this guy's marked to go. Scripture says that. If you're meant to live, Most High will have you live. We have no control. We haven't accepted that. We've had a whole bunch of classes about it.
To know about earlier, we can't even add an inch of our statue. We have no control of anything in our life. So with that,
but over your focus,
over your focus, your dedication,
where you can put your mind at.
Yeah.
Your love, your attention.
We have power. We don't do.
I don't want that. Dude, I don't like that one. I want to control my own destiny. This is how we think, whether we say it or not. I want to control my own fate, and I'm gonna do everything I can to dictate how my life's gonna play out.
Well, you have that mentality when you don't have any trust built in the Most High.
Exactly.
Then you're forced to have to figure it out for yourself.
Yes.
Go back to that in Ephesians.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13 now.
I'm off. You can lock it up. Yes, sir.
Ephesians 6 and 13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day.
So we got an evil day coming up. The solar eclipse is the evil day because bad things are predicted to happen. Power's supposed to go out. No electricity. Stack up, store up. That's what they got you at. They got you prepping.
That's what they were saying.
Yeah. They're telling you gas is gonna run out. Power may go out. The grid may not handle all the flood of people that's coming to witness the event. They're using this as an opportunity to pump fear into people. That's more food. That's more sales. That's more money spent. Now you're being perpetrated by fear. You're being controlled by fear, manipulated by fear. Just like they did with medicines and sicknesses. Read.
And having done all to stand.
He said, but in the end, you put the armor of the Most High about you, so that no matter what evil comes, you still standing. You can still function. But that's a confidence that you don't get from money. Money doesn't purchase that kind of confidence. A job doesn't guarantee that kind of confidence. The only thing that guarantees that confidence is putting on the Most High's trust. And how do you do that? Go to John chapter 6, verse 31. What's the beginning of putting on the whole armor of the Most High?
St. John chapter 6 and verse 31 reads, Our fathers did eat manna in the desert. As it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat.
Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. It's one more thing. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
No, I want 8 and 31.
God, 8. chapter 8 and 31.
Make that adjustment. I want John 8 and 31.
Come. Ready?
Yep.
St. John chapter 8, verse 31 reads, Then said Yahushua to those Jews which believed on him.
He says, this is the advice, and this is the message that Christ gave to his disciples that believed on him, the Jews that believed on him. What was his message? Go ahead.
If ye continue in my word.
He says, you got to continue in what?
In my word.
How do you put on the whole armor of God?
Wow.
If ye continue in my word.
Whose words do you have to focus on?
The Most High word.
Whose words you got to listen to?
The Most High words.
Whose words should be occupying your mind?
The Most High word.
He says, he's telling the believers, if you continue in my what?
Word.
Go ahead.
Then are ye my disciples indeed.
And this is what will show that you're a real disciple. This is what separates the real disciples, the real students of Christ, from the fake students of Christ. Is that, do you keep and stay in the word of the Most High? Or do you stay in fear? Do you stay in doubt? Do you stay in what you want? Do you participate and your mind is clouded by your lust? Or is your mind split about what you don't have and what you're worried about and when you're going to get this and when you're going to get that? Because if that's where your mind, if your mind is not always on the word of the Most High in Christ, then you're not a true disciple of his. Neither can you put on the whole armor of the Most High, and neither will you be able to stand when so-called the crap hits the fan. Because you don't have any connection to the Father to keep you sustained through the doubt. You don't have anything spiritual to offset the fear or the negative thoughts that come. Read on. Or the panic.
Come. And ye are my disciples indeed.
Go ahead.
And ye shall know the truth.
And he said, and you know what? It's not easy for you to be subjected to whatever the lie that or propaganda, because the media does sell propaganda. Mm-hmm. That is a tool and a weapon that's a war weapon. That's a weapon of war. Yep. It was masterfully crafted by the Germans. Hitler had a general, Goebbels, I believe, was his name, who was the minister of propaganda, whose whole job was to disseminate information to steer the people a certain direction. Now, when you look at
Freud?
No, I think his name was Goebbels. Was Goebbels.
Is BBELS.
What? Yeah. What?
Joseph Goebbels.
Yeah.
Let's see. You want me to? No.
Yeah. Read it. Read it.
Okay.
Dalia got it right here.
Paul Joseph Goebbels
Yeah.
was a German philologist and Nazi politician who was the Gaultier district leader of Berlin, chief propagandist for the Nazi Party.
He was the chief what?
Propagandist for the Nazi Party.
He was able to rally the German people through movies, through cinema,
Great.
through theater,
Yeah.
through leaflets, through plays, through flyers, through newspaper articles, through leaflets, dropping leaflets from planes, because he was able to steer the people a certain way, sway the people through propaganda. Read.
And then Reich, minister of propaganda from 1933 to 1945. He was one of Adolf Hitler's closest and most devoted followers, known for his skills in public speaking and his deeply virulent anti-Semitism, which was evident by his publicly voiced views. He advocated progressively harsher discrimination.
Now, when you look at one of America's well-known propagandists, the family member of one of the CIA's most well-known propagandists is the owner of Netflix.
Yep.
Netflix,
Grandson.
the grandson who owns Netflix, is the grandson of one of America's most powerful propagandists
In World War One.
in World War One. Yeah. So this is people use cinema, theater,
Yep.
acting, plays, cartoons. But you look at all the cartoons. Them cartoons ain't regular cartoons.
No.
So you saying that the people that are more skillful in propaganda is those behind that film and
There's a way to control the masses. Propaganda is one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a way to pump a message, or infiltrate people with, or indoctrinate people with a particular message, to get people to do things that they wouldn't normally do, that had a sound mind, that had a clear mind and a sober mind. These are war tactics.
Yeah.
So, read that again. Who got it?
It reads, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free."
So when you stay in the Word, when you abide in Christ's Word, you are not susceptible to just any old propaganda that no matter what media says, no matter what the masses say, no matter what people say to get you fearful, to get you pumped up and agitated, or get you voting a certain direction, or getting you feel like, you know what, we're at war with people that you may not even be at war with.
Yep.
Steering your or having a pulling your heartstrings politically to make you want to get out and petition or picket or march against something. People use propaganda or fear as a way to get people incited.
Inciting the people.
Right. So now he said, but when you know the truth, he said the truth shall make you what?
Free.
The truth shall make you free. You don't fear what normal people fear, because you have the truth. You don't believe what just normal people believe and what the masses believe, because you abide in the word of Christ. You stay in his word. So it gives you gravity. It balances you out. It gives you stability. You're not losing your mind or panicking because the economy says this, or the news says that, or CNN says that, or Fox says this. You don't think they learn from previous wars
From 1933.
how to play on the sentiments of people?
Yeah.
Read on.
Come, and the truth shall make you free. They answered him, "We be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man."
He said, we've been what? So now the people that don't understand this, they say, man, we don't know what you're talking about. We're not slaves. We've never been slaves. Obviously, they didn't get the point. Read on.
Come, they answered him, "We be Abraham's seed, and were never in bondage to any man. How sayest thou, ye shall be made free?"
Read.
Yahushua answered them, "Verily, verily, I say unto you, whosoever committeth sin is the servant of sin."
He said, whoever committed what?
A sin is a servant of sin.
He said, if you commit sin, if you stay in your sins, you will be a servant to what?
Your sin.
You'll be a slave to what?
Your sins.
Because what? He's showing you that whatever occupies your mind, you're going to be a slave to it. Whatever thoughts you meditate on, that you believe in, you'll be a slave to it. You're now a slave to those thoughts. Christ said if we stay in his word will free us up from what normally captivates the mind of people, which distracts the minds of people. Read on.
And the servant abideth not in the house forever, but the Son abideth ever.
Go ahead.
If the Son therefore shall make you free, ye shall be free indeed. And know
They had a
that
bigger point than Abraham's seed.
Yeah, they didn't understand what he was saying. Christ said, listen, you're free from your sins. He wasn't talking about free as an actual physical slave. They were offended because they said, we're free men. We're born of Abraham. We know who we are. We're free men. That wasn't the point. The point is, you're a slave to whatever you give your mind to. And what you give your mind to is usually a lie. That's why the way that you put on the armor of the Most High, you got to abide in the Word. You got to stay in this Word. Read on.
I know that ye are Abraham's seed, but ye seek to kill me, because my word have no place in you.
It said, because my word have no what?
Place in you.
Because you don't stay in the Word. You don't study. See, when you don't study enough, you're susceptible to being motivated by who?
Satan.
Satan. See how Satan only has one angle? His only angle is to detach you from focusing on the Most High. That's his main objective. To detach you from the Scriptures. If he can detach you from the Bible, he got you. That's why Christ said, listen, man, I'm going to free you up. I'm going to free you up from the snares of the devil. Just abide in my word. Go back to Ephesians. Let that go. Finish it up. We're going to finish class.
Right here. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 14 now. We're going to read 13 again.
Read that.
Verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the blessed breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Now, we're not going to break this down. Now, we can, on a different time, break each one of these elements down. But just to pinpoint this one particular verse, he said, having your feet what?
Shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
What is he saying? What is he saying when he said having your feet shod, right? Go to Jeremiah. I want you to go to Jeremiah and go to chapter 2 and read start at verse 24. So he just read that last part again. I'm out that last verse.
God, Ephesians chapter 6 and 14. 14. Slakia 15. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
It said having your feet shod, bound with the preparation of the gospel of what?
Peace.
Peace. So what does that mean? Let's get Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 24. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 24. A wild ass, you to the wilderness, that snuffeth up the wind at her pleasure.
It said a wild ass is sniffing up the wind at what?
At her pleasure.
So a wild ass is always looking for what?
Pleasure.
Pleasure. So what is he saying? When he's saying having your feet shod with the preparation of righteousness, what is he saying? Read.
In her occasion, who can turn her away?
It said a wild ass will always continually look for pleasure no matter what. Read on.
All they that seek her would not weary themselves.
It said if you're looking for somebody that's always looking for pleasure, good luck, you're never going to find them. Because they're lost. They're lost in their pursuit of pleasure. Good luck trying to find that person. They're gone already. Read on.
In her month, they shall find her.
In that month, they'll find her in that month. We know what that month is. The due season. Read on.
Withhold thy foot from being unshod.
So what does that mean? He's saying a wild ass is a spirit that's constantly always looking for pleasure. He said that is equivalent to a person whose foot is unshod. What does that mean? Is that's a person that's barefoot, right? That's a person that's barefoot and that their feet are not covered. That's an inference to being consumed with shame. They got shame on them. Read on.
And thy throat from thirst.
It says, and their throat is always what? Thirsty. Meaning they're never content. Meaning you put yourself in positions where you're always looking for pleasure and you're never satisfied. Never satisfied. You're always thirsty. You're always looking for something to stimulate you. He said this is a person that's equivalent in the spirit of being a barefoot person. You're barefoot in war. That's what makes you barefoot in war. You don't got no shoes on in a war. You don't got no shoes on in a battle. That's equivalent. He said that spirit is because you're always thirsty. You're always never content. You're always looking for pleasure. Therefore, you're always exposed. That's what he's saying. You're vulnerable. So when he's talking about you got to make sure that you put on the whole armor of God, that means you have no vulnerabilities. But even what you may not consider is a vulnerability, which is your thirst, which is the fact that you're never satisfied. That is a weakness in war. The fact that you're always looking for pleasure, that is a weakness when it comes to war, spiritual warfare. You're vulnerable. So now let's go back to where we was at and finish that in Ephesians.
God in Ephesians chapter 6, verse 15. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Read on.
Verse 16.
Now, Karai, you're going to finish 25. You didn't finish. I want you to finish 25. So I just want to show what this means. What happens when you're vulnerable. Another brother, give me Acts chapter 10, verse 38. So who will use that vulnerability when you're barefoot in war? When you're always thirsty, never satisfied, always looking for pleasure, comforts. Who will use that to your disadvantage? Read this right here. Acts chapter 10, verse 38.
Acts chapter 10, verse 38. How the Most High anointed Yahushua of Nazareth.
No, is it Acts 10 and 38? No, I want this part right here. No. I'm sorry. Yes. Read it. Let me get that first because it's a particular part I want. It's something that he says. It's verse it's 10 to 38. Read on. Just read on.
Acts 10 and 38. How the Most High anointed Yahushua of Nazareth with the Holy Spirit.
Read on.
And with power, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil, for the Most High was with him.
So when you're vulnerable, Satan has the opportunity to do what to you?
To oppress you.
To oppress you. But how does he oppress you when you're vulnerable? How does he oppress you when you're barefoot, when you're thirsty? How does he oppress you when you're always looking for pleasure but you can't find it? How does he oppress you? Now go back to read that in verse 25. Kariah.
Jeremiah chapter 2 verse 25. Withhold thy foot.
No. The part where he says thirst. After thirst.
God. It says, and thy throat from thirst. But thou saidest, there is no hope.
What does Satan do? What does Satan attack when you're barefooted in war? He goes at your what? He goes at your faith. When you're vulnerable and you're exposed, one element and way that the devil will come in is he'll start attacking your faith. When they say when your feet are not shod with the preparation of righteousness, he says, or peace actually, he says that Satan will use the any little chink in your armor. He'll use anything that you're not happy about, that you're not getting in your life. Because it's what you want that you're not getting. He compared that feet not being shod or barefoot like a wild ass. You're looking for pleasure. You're not satisfied. You're sniffing at the wind and you can't be found. He's showing you that Satan will use that opportunity of you not getting what you want to oppress your faith by making you believe, since you can't find what you're looking for, that there's no what?
No hope.
That there's no hope. Read on.
No, for I had loved strangers.
He said, because I made a mistake. I'm guilty. I've been sniffing at the wind. I've been a wild ass. I've been promiscuous. There's no hope for me. I've been too loose. So there's no hope for me. Satan will use guilt as a weapon, as an opportunity to get the best of you. He'll use guilt. He'll use your past. He'll use your what you participated in, your lifestyle. Just all for you to say, there's no hope for me. Read on.
It says, and after them will I go as the thief.
He said, so I might as well do what I want since there's no hope for me anyway. So I might as well do what I really want. I might as well keep doing what I want to do because there's no hope for me anyway. That's a tactic of the devil. He'll make you say, you know what? I've done so much bad. Why change now? There's no hope. I might as well just keep doing me. Condemn yourself. Satan will go at that. He'll use that. That's why I say you got to put on the whole armor of God, even down to your feet. That feet being unshod represent that lifestyle that was loose. Read.
God. It says, as the thief is ashamed when he is found.
And so, what does Satan use? Shame, guilt, from you being loose in the world, like a wild ass. He said that's equivalent to being barefoot. So those are just, when he says put on the whole armor of the Most High, you got to consider even the fact that you may have done things in the past that you're ashamed of, that you don't really want to talk about or do or ever do again, but that can't be the reason why you have no faith or why you lose hope and not remain positive as if there's an opportunity for salvation. But Satan will use it. He'll use your past, man. Finish that, Kariah, and then go back to Ephesians.
God. Verse 26. As the thief is ashamed when he is found, so is the house of Israel ashamed.
So that's how the Most High deal with us. But Satan will attack any weakness. Finish that in Ephesians if we're gonna finish the class.
God, Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 16. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked.
So there's gonna be the wickedness of Satan coming at you, trying to get you to depart from the Father. He'll use anything. He'll use what you want. He'll use your lust. He'll use your past. He'll use what you did in the old life. He'll play you with the shame that you got hidden within yourself. He'll use whatever he can to get to you. Whatever he can do to separate you from the Father. So that's why it's so important. So the topic of the class is focus-driven concentration. This is a spiritual war. And you got to concentrate your mind as much on the Most High as possible because it is your salvation. It's your safety. It's your protection. It's truth. And this is what you're supposed to be wrapping yourself around. That's supposed to be wrapping around you is this truth. Finish that.
God, verse 17. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of the Most High.
And what's the sword of the Spirit?
The word of the Most High.
What's the sword? The sword is what you fight with. What do you fight with?
The words of the
You
Most High.
fight.
The scriptures.
You fight with the scriptures. That's why Christ said, "He that abideth in me, that is my disciple." That's how he knows you're a real disciple. You keep the word with you. You stay in his word. You don't let nothing divide your mind from the word. When you're divided in mind, you're weak. You're vulnerable. Do we understand that?
God.
Any questions? All right, with that, let's go ahead and say shalom. And we'll be back in action on Friday. And the water for everybody watching online. Passover is around the corner. You got like a week and a half. We'll see brothers and sisters on Passover, Most High willing, and enjoy and fellowship and eat together. All right? All right, shalom.